Final salary or defined benefit pension schemes fall into two distinct categories. There's the private employer funds, and then there's a huge number of people who are in civil service final salary schemes, and that is people who have had any sort of employment through the government or government-related institutions. At the moment there's a lot of press and media surrounding final salary schemes, mainly because there's some real serious problems with the funding. For example, in the private sector, the FTSE 100 companies, there's a combined pension fund deficit as of December 2012 of over £50 billion. And given the nature of these benefits, whereby the scheme is obliged to index future pensions by RPI or inflation, they're forecasting this deficit could blow out by another £20 billion in the near future, which is quite horrific. The civil service schemes, as I said, are government or semi-government employees, and typically have been very secure because they are funded by tax revenue. However, given the austerity measures over the last few years and the potential liability, they are tinkering and will continue to as to how these transfer values and pension benefits are calculated. And we believe, given a lot of independent research, that transfer values in both civil service and all final salary schemes, given the circumstances with base interest rates and gilt yields, are more than likely at all-time highs at the moment, and an ideal time to review what your situation is. There's a couple of issues with people with final salary, and in particular civil service schemes, is that, again, from our experience over 16 years, is that they tend to think a couple of things. One is that, why would I even consider transferring a guaranteed salary in a final salary scheme, a guaranteed pension? And again, with the funding issues at play, they're not always guaranteed as what people might believe. And two is that they tend to, particularly with civil service schemes, leave it too late to start investigating their options. And I highlight the civil service schemes because they do have a normal retirement date of age 60, and you must, to have the option of transferring a cash equivalent transfer value, you must actually complete that before your 59th birthday. Once you're within 12 months of that normal retirement age being 60, you no longer have the option to transfer the cash equivalent transfer value. The best advice we could give with anybody with a final salary and a civil service scheme is to indeed take advice, explore what your options, and understand the pros and cons of a potential transfer. Probably the worst situation is that you do get to retirement and it's too late and you just haven't explored that option. The issue, obviously, of the past few years has been the challenge surrounding the exchange rate, and most people have decided to put their head in the sand and not even engage our services or explore the option of transferring because of the poor exchange rate. Pleased to report that we now have a solution in terms of being able to transfer at what we believe is an opportune time with respect to tax calculations and the value of cash transfer values at the minute. And we can transfer, retain and invest in sterling investment portfolios. So the money's not just sitting in sterling cash going nowhere. You can generate some real yield and return on a sterling portfolio.